Hello, welcome. So today I'm going to do these Palo Alto labs. um, if you watch my first video, it's about um, doing the initial setup, like connecting to the management interface. But this particular lab is going to be focused on, working with firewall configurations and log files. So that's what I'm going to focus my attention on today. So the lab has loaded, as you can see on the screen. So I'm going to click on my client. I can also click on the firewall itself, but I'm going to start with the computer. So in this lab, we're going to focus on applying baseline configuration to the firewall, then saving the named configuration snapshot, then how to export the named configuration snapshot, then revert to ongoing configuration changes, preview configuration changes, examine log files, create log filter, log file filter, and use filter builder. So we're going to use these things. So this lab is going to cover all of those objectives. So let's connect to the firewall. To connect to the firewall, the management console port is 192.168.1.254. So I'm going to go over there right now. So again, 192.168.1.254, and then connected. Okay, so proceed, and this is my Palo Alto firewall interface. For some reason the page is not loading fully. Okay, there you go. So admin, my default user, and my password is. So once we log in, we're going to go to devices. So this is our Palo Alto device. As you can see, this is our dashboard. So we're going to go to device. I'm not sure you can see that. You can see that. So you click on device, and then from there you go to load. You're going to load a name configuration snapshot. This for this lab purpose. So I'm going to indicate edu and then lab 2. So this is going to load the lab that I'm going to do the configuration. So and then the load is configured. So I check on the tax. As you can see, tax is all the way lower there. Let me see if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it. and then you can see they say load is complete, and just close on that. Then the next thing we're going to do is commit the changes. So whenever you make a change, you need to commit the changes. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I'm going to try to minimize that. Okay, this way you can see. So commit is over here. You click on commit, and you should be able to see. So go commit on the changes. So the changes, this is going to save the configuration. So commit is usually used like to save your configuration. Whenever you do some configuration and you want to save it on the firewall, so you click on commit. It's usually on the top right. Just waiting for it to commit the changes. So once the changes have been saved, so the thing we're going to do now is how to save a named configuration snapshot. So you, for example, you've done some configuration. Let's say you've done your basic configuration, and then you want to make sure that you have that configuration saved. So then in the future, if something happened, you can always revert back to that changes. So this is your like basic configuration, um, or maybe some last known good configuration that you have. So if you wanna keep that changes, save somewhere, that's what you can do. So you click on close once it's done, and then now you're gonna go back to device, and then from here you're gonna see it says save. So save named configuration snapshot. So under operations, so it's under devices, setup operations, and the under operation you can click on what? Save named configuration. So this will allow you to save the configuration as to whatever you want. So I can say firewall dash a dash lab 2. So I can, so in the future if I want to revert back to the changes that are currently on now, I can always use that. So that's it. And then this is how you save a known configuration. So let's say now you want to load the known configuration that you have. You just click on load named configuration snapshot, and then you just say firewall, and it's gonna pop up. You see firewall a lab 2, and this is how you restore the configuration on that snapshot. Okay. So now next thing we're going to do is also export this configuration. So how do we export the configuration? The same thing on the same place. So we're going to say export named configuration, and again you put in the name of what you want, the configuration you want to export, and then there you are, lab 2. You say okay, and now you choose the location where you want to save this. I can put it on downloads, call it whatever, and then that's it. The name is fine for me. Just say save, and this is how you export the configuration. So the next thing that we're going to do is revert ongoing configuration changes. So revert ongoing configuration changes. So again, the same thing is still under so in this case, to revert the changes, I'm first going to make some changes first, like make some additions, such as maybe add the DNS, sorry, add a DNS address, okay, or DNS server address. So what I can do is I can go to services, and then maybe this way I can change my DNS server address. Okay, from here I can click on, you see the small wheel over there, you can click on that to edit the changes. So what happened now is I can say, let's say I can now enter the DNS address. So under the changes, maybe I'm trying to type in 8888, and then maybe I made a mistake and type in 88 on the first one. So how do I make that changes, or how do I revert to that change? So I say, like, okay, I don't know that it was 88, but then I realized, oh, I made a change, okay. And then what you can do is, so after you've done these changes, and then you can just do that by reverting the changes from here. So if we see that over on the top right corner, you're going to see save changes, and then so what, revert changes. Okay, so you can always revert changes using this. So if I click on revert changes, let's see what's going to happen. Revert. So revert changes. So this is done before you even commit the changes. You see, let's say you made a mistake and you realize, hey, I made a mistake. You can always just look back. You can see it was 88.8.8, but when I say revert the changes, it automatically switch back to the correct changes. So the other thing that we have to do now is preview configurations. Okay, so whenever you made some changes, how do you verify the configurations that you've done? Okay, so you can do that by always clicking on service operations. So under say devices, setup, and the operations. Okay, once you're in operations, you can always see the SNMTP service setup. So here we're going to make some add some few things. So let's say my location now is Virginia. Okay, Virginia. Let's say unit house. The address for the let's say unit 2, and let's say community. Let's say Palo Alto 42, and then click on OK. So once I make those changes, if I want to preview the changes that I have made, so this is just making some additions, small additions to see if I can revert these changes, not to revert as it, but just observe the changes that I have done. Okay, so usually you can click that by clicking on commit. Okay, when I click on commit, you have the choice to see what we call preview changes. So this Palo Alto, so preview changes, so you can be able to see the changes that you've done. Okay. So it's saying that number of lines you want to see. So line of context set to 10. So that's fine. Just click OK. But this is going to give you the chance to observe the changes that have occurred. So you can see that on this side, on the say candidate configuration, there's running configuration. So candidate configuration contains all the configuration that the new changes that you've added. You can see that I added Virginia unit 2 and then Palo Alto, right? So this is where you preview all the changes, but I'm not going to commit these changes. I just want to show you how you can preview the changes that you've made. You can cancel this and then we can move forward from there. Now, the next thing we're going to do is examine log files, examine how to examine log files. So where do you find your logs? So here, the logs are found in monitor. So you see there's monitoring over here. So monitor, click on monitor. This way you see your log files. So you can see that there are traffic logs, threat logs, URL filtering log, wildfire submission log, data filtering, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so I just click on logs and then traffic logs. I need to check the system. So all these are, see, all of these are different type of logs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16 type of log files that Palo Alto have. Okay, so our focus is on the system. Let's check the system and see what kind of changes have occurred on the system. So you can see that we have general URL filtering. All these logs have, it's keeping track of all these logs. Okay, so you can also, like, how do you make changes, to the tabs to show additional fields? So you can say click on this, for example, events. So you can click on this event columns and you can see objects. You can always take out the objects. You can always add any additional, like, log type, all of the information. So you see that when I took out the object, it disappeared. You see, you can always add that as well. And then so where you can see the severity, you can actually, so to move the severity perhaps to the farther left, you see, you can always arrange what comes up first. You see, you can drag them to the right, left, wherever you want it to be. Okay, so for example, if the severity is the first thing you want to see, you can always drag it and drop it over there on the left side. So now how do you we're going to create a log file filter. That's what we're going to do right now, how to create a log file filter. Okay, so you can always see over on the top over here in this search box, so you can always create what, a filter. So you can actually do that as using this. You see add a filter over here, you can always do that, or you can do that manually. Okay, so you can click on add. Okay, what are you trying to search? So we can say subtype, add a log filter, so subtype. Second, subtype equal description severity. Second, so can type it actually subtype equal VPN. Once you're done, you can just what, search, apply the filter, and it's going to bring to you, say, the type. So everything that is VPN, so you can actually filter by VPN. See, let's brought all the stuff that are like VPN. So it's going to only bring all the VPN logs. Okay, so that is how you can filter by type, you know, subtype, by event, you can by description, by severity. So let's say subtype, sub event, sub severe. 1 second, let me check this. Sub severity equal critical. And valid operator. So yeah, so sorry. So let's say subtype, not type, but severity EQ plus high. Let's see, sorry, severity. Okay, so you see you can actually write simple commands like that, like severity equals high, and you can see that it brought all the, only it filters only those that have what, severity as high. So that's pretty much how you do some filtering, and you can actually do severity equals informational, all the different things, that different options, and you can actually do a combination of stuff as well. So for example, I can do like severity equal informational, and then create another one, and then set and, that means like using logical operators. So and event ID equal general. Okay, you can see. So event ID and severity, if you combine it, you can do a combination of filters. So all the different things, anything that you want to do, you can always do that. So we're gonna do what we'll call next is using the filter builder. Okay, how to use filter builder. So for example, so I'm gonna go back to dashboards, and we can see the time, checking the time, URL under general information. The general information time is over here. Yeah, time is Saturday, November 23rd. Okay, and the 0, so we can see all of that information. So I can go to system. Okay, so I'll go back to logs, so monitoring, logs, system, and I'm going to add using the add folder. So from there, I'm going to click on click end. So I'm going to click on end and click on severity. So and severity and equal and informational. So once you've done that, you click on add. So this is how you build like a filter. Okay, so you begin by choosing the connector and or, okay, and then from there you choose an attribute, whether it's a severity, time received, object, event, description. So once you've done that, then you choose the operator, equal, not equal, less than, greater than, whichever one it is. Then once you've done, you choose what the value, high, low, critical, depending on whatever it is. Then once you've done that, then you click on what, add. So sorry, so I think I did 2 of those because of the clicking I was doing. So this is fine. Just click on add. Okay. Oh, sorry. So the add is meaning that I want to add another type of another type of commands. Okay. So, and this is going to be another end, and then the time generated. Then after that, I'm going to choose greater than or equal to, and next one is going to be then the time and the date. So time and the date is going to be today. So let's say choose today. Okay. Timing is very important. Let's say before 5:30. Before 5:30, and then click on add. Now once you've done that, then you can click on what, apply. Apply is going to do the filtering. Then you click on what, the arrow next to it. See the arrow over here? You click on that. So this is how you build your filter. Let's say syntax error at the end. Syntax error. Where is it? Oh, I have 2 ends. Okay, so 2 ends. So I'm going to take one out. Okay, and then just click on next. So these were the things that happened before I started using the firewall. So you can always build your queries to whatever you want. Okay. So in this particular video, this is how far or what we want to do. And I can see we've attained that. So I'm gonna commit the changes, and then from there it's saved. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to end this particular live, and I'm going to begin another one. If you don't mind, so I can continue. Let me see. I can actually continue, but I just wanted to be separate videos. So I have this. So these are the labs. So lab 2, we just finished that. I'm going to lab 3. Lab 3, we're going to be talking about working with firewall administrator accounts. Now it's just going to be fun. So that's going to be a whole nother video I'm going to make really quick. It's interesting. There's a lot to learn, especially on this one, lab 3. I'm going to call it lab 3 thumbnail. So I'm going to go into firewall anyway. Okay. So the changes have been committed, so I'm just going to click on close and I'll leave it open. But what I'm going to do is end this so I can update the stream information. So where are you at? So please stay tuned. I'm going to come back right now. We're going to be working on firewall administrator accounts. This is going to be very important because we're going to be talking about radios, we're going to be talking about LDAP, all those fancy terminologies, and how you can use them, on your Palo Alto configuration. This is really interesting. So I will look forward to it right now. Just give me a few minutes and I'll be ready, but I'll be right back.